Welcome to the Tesla Economist. Please hit the thumbs up and remember to subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon. To be honest, I had been growing tired of people constantly hoping Tesla will split again, as if that's what makes a stock successful or even a company. In reality, a stock split means zero difference to the company. In theory, it allows investors to buy stocks at a lower price, so a lower entry level. E.g., if you couldn't afford Tesla at $1,000 and it splits, you could afford to buy the stock at, say, $200. But these investors that only have around $200 to spend on Tesla shares, well, they're not the make or break of the stock price. In fact, I doubt they can even move the stock at all. Besides, most trading apps allow you to buy fractions of shares anyway, at almost any price point you want. People have been saying they want Tesla to split as if they want to simply force the stock price up. This is short-term thinking and not long-term investor mentality. It's not hodler mentality. And if this is how you think, then you might not possibly have the patience or gusto to ride this thing out all the way. Really, what's the point of the stock price being higher now? It means if you're still adding to your position, it became more expensive. If you're paying holding tax for your shares, that will increase too. It's the financials that matter, not what Mr. Market arbitrarily decides it's worth from one day to another. You must rid yourself of this mentality, or it will cloud your judgment. The platitude, if everyone else is jumping off a cliff, would you too, comes to mind. As in, just because the market suddenly values Tesla higher, or lower for that matter, would you too? Do not be fickle to the latest headline, or FUD, or stock price jumps, or crashes. I don't just try and explain to you how amazing Tesla is as a company, but also ingrain in you investor mentality. Do not get emotional, remain rational and pragmatic. This makes for a good investor. Do not let your emotions run too strong. Yes, it's very exciting that the stock price is rising, and it's fun, but this is barely the start of anything. Tesla have not even started making their own batteries yet, which is what this entire business is about. Get it? Tesla haven't even started making their core product that all their products will derive from. That's how early we still are. But this stock price run doesn't seem to be slowing down. We don't even have Texas and Berlin open yet. I think people are really starting to get their heads around this now. The capacity is about to be quadrupled, and margins could reach 40%, or they may be thinking something along those lines at least. I was saying it would hit $1,200 sometime this year, except it already has. Yet we still don't have these new factories open, and we still don't have 4680 batteries in production. These three events are happening very soon, along with a Q4 that will make Q3 look like Q2. It's now not impossible we will see $1,500 in January or February. I mean, there are plenty of reasons for the market to justify even a $3,000 stock price. Put it this way, if Tesla hit $3,000 soon, I don't think I'd be selling. But I would say a lot of people would have taken profits well before that stage. So $3,000 is probably not likely anytime soon, and I just want to see this whole thing through. On August 11th, 2021, Tesla split 5-for-1. The stock was at around the equivalent of $290 post-split price and rose to about $440. That is a jump of around 50%. Yes, historically stock splits can increase the stock price, but this was a huge jump by any means. And now the market would be expecting the stock to perform the same if another split is announced. So if the stock was around $1,500 pre-split price before the split, well, we are approaching that number again. It could even be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Hyperbole may kick in that Tesla is going to split again, and then more investors will jump in and push that price up. Then perhaps a stock split does get announced, and it pushes it up further. We were actually holding call options when the split was announced last time, because of the anticipation of Tesla being accepted into the S&P. Now that gets your blood pumping. Another split could end up taking Tesla to an insane $2,000 or perhaps $400 post-second split price. This is getting crazy. But I think everyone is starting to realize Tesla will be the biggest company in the world, disrupting major industries and achieving huge profit margins whilst doing it. We add up the numbers on our spreadsheets, and no matter how conservative we attempt, we always had a market valuation of multiple trillions before 2025. These numbers aren't hard to work out, and there are plenty of people like myself demonstrating them, and no one seems to be able to dispute any of them. There may be a huge FOMO run on Tesla as the rest of the world realizes more that Tesla is the future. I mean, the future of the planet. It could end up creating a perfect storm. Tesla could jump like nothing before. Another issue is Tesla doesn't really have typical investors. Tesla investors are different. They are hodlers and have been accumulating and building their positions relentlessly. This means as more investors accumulate shares, there is less available in the market. The float is essentially diminishing. There is so much left on the table with Tesla that we want to see this all through. It would be foolish to sell at a time as early as this. I mean, FSD isn't even complete yet, let alone robotaxis, energy or in-house batteries. And the market still underestimates all these, but they are realizing more. And when they see the actual evidence of what Tesla can achieve, then this stock will reach escape velocity. It's simply priceless. It could be argued that one day Tesla is worth anything from $10 trillion to $100 trillion. If no one is selling their Tesla stock, then the price will keep rising and rising, and none of us are selling. But the market and Tesla does not always act the way you think it might. Perhaps after a split occurring, people realize it was a huge overreaction, and it could be due for a major correction. I mean, Tesla would be bigger than Google at this stage, with nothing close to the profits to support it, and eventually the market realizes and likes tangible numbers rather than hopes and dreams, and it might adjust back down to between 1,200 and 1,500 even after the new factories are open. And the ramping up of those factories will slow growth in profits and margins for most of the year, and institutions and other investors will not understand it like us. They will just see that EPS is down over a quarter, or seeing minimal growth. They react and sell. A bit of FUD comes out too, and we have an adjustment. I don't know what's going to happen. I just like to discuss possibilities so I can be prepared. Anyway, my main point is that a stock split doesn't improve the company anymore. It's just a bit of fun that gets exciting, and we see some massive gains in a short period of time. As I say, the stock price is a distraction to the success of the company. The real numbers are in the financials and the future growth of this company. The market grows impatient quickly and behaves fickle. These new factories are going to take time to ramp up. We may see issues with them, and we may see issues and delays with 4680 batteries. Cybertruck might end up being pushed out to 2023. There are all sorts of things that can go wrong. But again, these are also short term. Even if it takes this year to get these things sorted, then eventually Tesla will be on track. On track? What's that? Well, Tesla is not yet on its track. Its track to serious ramping up. They've not been able to yet, due to not having the right batteries that were feasibly scalable. Still to this day, even over a year later, 4680 batteries are still vastly underrated. Tesla have managed to cut the cost of batteries going from their 2170 batteries to the 4680 batteries well under half the previous price. Bearing in mind, this being the most expensive element of the EV, and these batteries have an insanely fast production speed in an incredibly small space. People are too distracted with the bells and whistles like the Cybertruck, or the chance they can afford a Tesla when the $25,000 model is launched. As exciting as they all are, they fundamentally comprise of the battery, and when Tesla have finally mastered their battery production process, then we're finally on track and can simply replicate more and more battery production lines. Or perhaps simply is far from the right word, as I doubt they're that easy to set up. Anyway, to me, the only real benefit of a stock split is that options become cheaper, so it's less risky to do a bit of trading on the side. With this much volatility so quickly, it might be fun to play some options soon. If you guys are interested in my options trading and what I do there, then let me know. But it's full-on trading, and I often lose it all. I risk relatively small amounts of money though, and it's just a bit of fun more than anything. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon.